awkward time to ask, but it is pronounced Roy, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so talk to me. Top square, Hollywood square. Is it a ladder to get up there, stairs?
Rickety stairs.
Really?
The squares, I think, are the same squares. Like, I think they just had them in the back when the show wasn't on. They're like, can we do Hollywood squares? Well, we still got the squares. Why not? You know?
Are you like a little bit afraid of heights or not really? Because I'm like pretty scared. That sounds shitty to me.
Well, just the whole thing like shakes. And so like I'm shaking and Richard Jenny's shaking and Charo is shaking. You know, it's like
that's her thing.
Yeah. Well,
she's heard the stairs are
and in '89, shaking is what she's gonna do anyway. I think that's But no, the squares is an interesting experience. Fred Dreyer, Hunter.
Sure.
Him and Dee McCall had to share the same square.
Of course.
But he was...
There's still that tension there.
There is. And
Hunter was so brilliant that they really kind of always played it, never really let it happen.
They never David Addison and Eddie Hayes did.
Yeah, Friday after Friday, I just kept watching.
But yeah.
Just the weekend over some dead body that maybe they're gonna like.
They're like getting kissed in the coroner's office. Yeah, it never happened.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We were.
But Fred Dreyer actually, he was mad that he was not a corner square. Like kind of mad, but mad. You know, like he wasn't really mad because you couldn't really be like, I'm not in a corner square. You know, like you couldn't really do that and you take it.
What was he, like top middle?
No, he's in the middle. Yeah, he's like bottom middle. But he thought that he was not getting enough questions. Like that was an issue. Like, you're Hunter. You're on the show. Yeah. Is Hardcastle on the show? Is McCormick on the show? Yeah. Don't complain about your square.
You're Hunter. You've made it.
Is Jake on the show? Is Fat Man on the show? You are on the show, even though your last TV credit was somewhere in the first George Bush administration.
I think when you were on Hollywood Squares, I think Higgins and TC were on the Griff show.
Oh, really? Did they have to leave to go help Thomas find a Samoan on the beach or something like that? Those guys dropped everything to help him. Like, come on, it's my wedding, Thomas. Yeah, but come on, TC. Come on, Rick. You know, okay, fine, you know.
You'd think at some point they'd be like, Magnum, you're just not cut.
Here's what I like about Magnum.
You're not that good at PI.
Here's what I like about Magnum. Magnum was the only man who could wear ball-hugging Daisy Duke shorts, a Hawaiian shirt open to his navel, and a mustache, and still look like a heterosexual. You know, no one would have thought Magnum looked gay, but if I wore that outfit, yeah, and lived with a guy named Higgins.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
In a big beach house.
Higgins also with a mustache.
All of them. I think the stash is coming back. What do you think?
And then, you know, if it was a porno, TC would come in late with just the hummer and be like, what up?
You went. Are you lying to me?
This is everyone I know in Los Angeles comes to the Griff show. Wow. Every come watch this. No, seriously, you're coming, man.
Seriously, we're doing it again, so you're going to be there.
Yes, there'll be someone else besides me there this time, I promise.
So was he not here when you said
credibility?
You've been here before. You've been in some stuff. You're like the guy who was at the first Dead show.
Really?
Like, have I seen him before? Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah. Brad is only here if, like, on the 1% chance that I make it, he's like, I'm going to fuck this guy over on each Hollywood story in the biggest way. Dick backstage, never gave me any credit, stole my shit, whole my yards.
They might as well give you a Hollywood. I think now the only qualification for having a Hollywood story is having at some point been in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like they had a Hollywood story of Richard Simmons. I'm like, isn't Hollywood the movies? It doesn't just be that you go to the Ralphs on, you know, San Vicente. Is that Hollywood now?
Yeah, they're working on mine right now just in case.
Oh, they got it in the can already?
Yeah.
Griff began life in a seedy black box theater on Santa Monica.
They call back, they got like the guy who's following me who works for E, and they're like, what's he up to now? Still in the black box? Wow, this is going to be a good one if he ever makes it. Wow.
I would hate to be that guy. I'm glad they're making money. I'm glad they have a job. I'm glad anyone's employed. But anyone who has to, all day long, your life is talking about somebody else. Like, you're just like, oh, what was Jennifer Lopez's new dress? You have to talk about that shit and then go home to your kids and be like, I contribute to society.
That's right.
You know, how, I couldn't do it, man.
I said nothing about it. You know what was awkward? I was watching Entertainment Tonight once, and one of the clowns in Entertainment Tonight, I don't know what his name was, he like had a whole expose on him having a baby. So it kind of
the guy?
I'm the guy.
He got to talk about himself. That's great.
Yeah, of course
that's
he's like
great.
A super hot wife. It was boring.
But it's him. It's his life. He doesn't talk about like Ben Affleck combed his hair different or something. That's like, how can he care? You know, that's his job, and he has to talk about some guy he's never met, who's never going to meet him, who's if he does meet him isn't going to respect him, and he has to be act all like excited, like, oh, the kids from O-Town showed up at Dublin's last week, and he has to be all like excited about that. Like, and he's not. He hates it. He cries at night, you know? He does not care if the guys at O-Town were at Dublin's. That's my point.
So friendly during your act, but so angry now.
I'm just feel for the guy. I think that dude, I mean, it's great he's on TV. Once again, he's making money. It's a steady job. But I feel for the guys who are on those shows. I mean, they have to hate it.
I guess, yeah, good point. Maybe, I don't know, but you're also coming from the assumption that, like, maybe they were trying to be somebody.
Be a journalist, right? I mean, that's why you end up on a show where you're doing, like, he wanted to be like, Donald Rumsfeld resigned today, but, you know, like, he doesn't get to. He has to be like, the guys from O-Town were in, you know?
But, all right, ask yourself right now, would you rather be one of the guys in O-Town or Donald Rumsfeld? Wait, we'll get a Griff show instant ballot going.
Little poll.
The crowd says 63% Rumsfeld.
Well, I couldn't name Rumsfeld. I couldn't name one guy from O-Town.
There it is.
What? We got a guy from O-Town?
A fantasy, yeah.
Who? Give me a guy from O-Town. Someone in the crowd, shout it out. O-Town. Joey.
That's
Joey By the way, I think it's officially time. I think it's officially time for the other guys in NSYNC to start worrying.
Yeah, they should like.
Yeah, I think it's time. It's worrying time for the other guys in NSYNC.
Yeah, you think JC's like back at home, like. Oh,
I think
Justin's gonna call tomorrow. I can feel it. We're gonna get the can back.
This is Timberlake's answering machine. Timberlake's answering like beep. Yeah, it's Joey. What's up, man? We haven't heard from you guys. We got a new Chili's ad. We're waiting for you to come down and do your part.
Baby back ribs? Bye. So good, so tasty.
I mean, you see, like, Timberlake on interviews, he's like, oh, that's right, that was in another group. Who was in that group? Oh, was that Aaron? No, that was the Backstreet Boys. I don't remember. Whatever the fuck, you know?